Hello, what's up, y'all out there? I'm Omi Bell. Some of you may know me as the CEO of Black Girl Ventures. Some of you may know me. There's a couple different ways that y'all may know me. One, maybe it's likely because I'm the CEO of Black Girl Ventures. Another one is you may have met me and depending on how long you've been following, you may have met me way back in the day when I was doing poetry. You may have also met me as a Sirius XM host, so you may listen to Sirius XM Urban View Channel 126, which I am on every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or you may have been following in the live show when I used to host live every Tuesday. Who knows? You may have seen me interview somewhere. All those things can be true. Here is where I am now and what I'm gonna be bringing to the world now. One of the things I want to push forward is right now more than ever we need to regulate our nervous systems. People are having anxiety around the war, the news, the everything that's going on. And so this effort that I'm bringing forward is called 3B, the 3B Society, Body, Business, and Belonging. And it's focused on what does it mean to have an integrated life where all of them work together, right? Because I think there is like, okay, grind till I die. And then there is like, I don't want to do that. Like I want to make money, but I'm not trying to like run myself ragged doing it. But still, what's the answer to that? How do we do that? What does that look like? And so it's body, business, and belonging. So we're gonna have people that'll be interviewed from each pillar. So we'll have people that be coming from business. We'll have people. I'm gonna have doctors. We're coming from body. We're gonna have spirituality. So it'll be a bunch of different folks. And I know that you are waiting for the next 30-day series. Okay, the next full 30-day series is coming. This series, I've actually decided to do it. We'll showcase on the 3B Society. So at the 3B Society on Instagram. You can go and follow. We'll post what days we're going to go live, and it may not be every day. Okay, there's learning lessons to the everyday go live that I need to share with y'all that I didn't share yet, but and that's the personal capacity piece. But we will have another 30-day live stream coming soon on the BGV side, and that'll be later on in May. So stay tuned for that. But for the 3B Society, I won't necessarily be going live for 30 days, but I will go live for the guests that I have coming on. Y'all don't want to miss those either because these guests are so dope. Speaking of that, my guest for today, which I'm excited to bring her on, Zakia Illick, and she is the founder of the Cookie Dip Company. The Cookie Dip Company is a Los Angeles-based luxury dessert brand redefining how people express cookies. Yeah, I'm sorry, how people express, I like that, how people experience cookies. What began as a nostalgic childhood tradition has evolved into a premium experiential product line featuring handcrafted small batch cookie dips designed for elevated everyday indulgence and high-end gifting. Known for innovative flavors like milk chocolate, horchata, butter toffee bourbon, and banana cream, the brand blends comfort with sophistication, creating a new category in the dessert space. The Cookie Dip Company has been featured in media outlets, partnered with major activations, and continues to expand into corporate gifting, hospitality, and experiential events like Sip and Dip. Sakia's vision is to scale the brand into retail, stadiums, and global markets, transforming a simple dessert into a luxury experience. And so I'm excited to welcome to the stage the founder of the Cookie Dip Company, Zakia Illick. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me, and it's good to see you again.
Absolutely. And so the 3B Society is focused on body, business, and belonging. And I feel like a part of this story with the Cookie Dip Company, while the category squarely is business, there's pieces here about belonging, about feeling good, about what that nostalgic feeling of the cookie dip brings to you. So I want to start with that story.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the cookie dip and how it came to life as a company.
Well, basically, I've been making cookie dip since I was about 6, 7 years old. Every Friday after school, my grandmother would let me cook. Like the kitchen was mine, and every Friday I try to make bread, and it turned out so nasty. And so like I would just put my ingredients in my bowl and like make my cookie dip as like like comfort food to myself because I failed on making bread again. And so
Mm.
basically even further back from that, it kind of was inspired by my older brother. We make ambrosia salad for the holidays, and I always just wanted the cream part of the ambrosia salad. I didn't like the coconut and other things that were in it. So it was me really trying to chase that ambrosia cream, and then it kind of just evolved into cookie dip, what you see now.
So something that comfort after failure.
Hmm.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Leading into now a full blown company. So where how did you know? So like okay, so you're like this is good. This is good for me to eat. But then where do you move into it being a company?
Well, the funny part is, I thought it was common for people to make it like grilled cheese or cinnamon toast. So I didn't even realize that I've never shared it even with my family. So until like I was in 2018, I went to the Playboy Jazz Festival with my friends, and we're all bringing picnic items, and I'm like, okay, no one's bringing dessert. Let me bring some cookie dips. So I brought lemon and vanilla bean, which were my first two flavors.
Mm.
And everyone was like, what is this? And I'm like, I had like some Lorna Doone, some waffle cookies, and things to eat with it. And people are like around me, you meet people there. They're like, do you sell this? I'm like, I can. And it kind of went from there. Literally that night, I went home, started drafting my first business plan, my first logo, and just it just kind of went from there.
Mm. And that what year was that?
2018.
Okay, so here we
August.
are, right,
Yeah.
in 2026. First, let's talk about it from a like getting into business. So you find out you have something,
Mm-hmm.
you start to move into it. But what was the moment where you're like, I'm a business owner? Do you still have those moments? You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh
Right,
no, no,
right,
this is not a cute, that's not just like a cute thing I serve to my family.
right.
But and is there like have you in different experiences that you have had like going into I guess different accelerators, incubators, learning from other people, business communities, do you feel a sense of belonging in those communities?
Absolutely. I've always wanted my own business. I never in my wildest dreams thought it was food. I never
Mm.
thought I was going to go into food. I don't know why I never thought that. I love to cook. I cook well. I just never thought of it. And so I always thought I was going to go into like fashion, like have a boutique or something of that, along those lines. But I've always wanted a business. My parents, my grandparents, like I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. So that spirit has always been within me. So I feel like I'm home, honestly. Like when I go and I'm inspired by other people's stories, I'm inspired by other entrepreneurs, and I'm inspired by you. It's
Aw.
like it's just like a world that is endless, and that's what I love about it. And it feeds both my art and my ambition. So it's like never ending exchanges. It's like forever filling my cup.
So what makes it different? So like, like Kenny, is it like anybody can make this? Is it, is it may not be that. I'm saying it like if
Right,
people have
right,
that feeling.
right.
But
Um,
what do you think makes it different from other brands?
I would say my attention to detail and my high quality ingredients
Mm.
and the flavors and the way I put it together is like solely from my creativity. It's literally my mode of art right now. So it's like and then also it's the story behind each flavor. Each flavor has a sentimental origin to me specifically. It either makes me think of a person, a feeling, a time in my life. So each flavor is inspired.
Each flavor of the cookie dip evoking a connection.
Correct. Correct.
I love that.
Yeah.
Um, when last time have you taken a break?
Um,
Okay, all
I,
right.
burnout is a thing. We're not gonna act like that don't work because I'm a solopreneur. I take it as when God makes me take it. When He sits me down, I sit down and I listen. you know I did take a break after, usually it's between like in my slow seasons, that's when I take my break, but like going up to the summer, it's businesses starting to pick up, events, people are outside, they feel good, they're throwing parties, going into like the holiday seasons, it's like kind of nonstop. So if I need to take a break, I take a break. I take my vacation. I'm big on self-care. I'm big on pampering myself. I love the spa. So I just get in there when I need to, but I do love it. Like literally, this was nothing for me to be up and ready for talk to you today because I was already up at 4. So
Oh yeah, cause you listen. Let me tell you now that because I just moved to the West Coast, so now a bunch of people are like, "What you doing these interviews at 6 a.m., girl?" And I'm like, "Well, listen, my whole audience has not moved over to the West Coast yet, so I'm still getting it adapting." Good morning, Maria. Maria's like, "What? You're live?" Yes, I am live. We're live, and this is this video as people will be listening to the audio as well because this is going to move to a podcast once I'm done doing the recording. So Maria, for those out there, when I say Maria and you hear Maria on other, when I say good morning Maria on other calls, it's because she has been a faithful listener and showing
oh,
up
hi Maria.
every day that we have gone live. So I appreciate her. And the ability to platform the businesses that I've come across, right?
Mhm.
And say like, I love what you're working on. Where do you want this to go? So like you wait, back up before I say that. What are your biggest customer segments? Like, is it mostly families? Is it mostly like stores? Is it mostly like, are you mostly like event coordinators? And is it boutique shops? Like, where do you find yourself finding the largest group of people who are interested in buying cookie dip?
Definitely boutique shops, specialty stores, experiences. It's all about the experience. Everyone knows what's the first flavor of dip they try. They remember it. They remember what was happening during the time. They remember the feeling that they had and they hone in. Usually the first flavor they try is their favorite right off the bat, you know.
Mm.
And there's something for everybody. Like people like, oh, I don't really do sweets, and I recommend pistachio or mango chili. And they're like, oh, but I don't do sweets, but this is good. And so y- my customer is everywhere. My customer is someone who likes culinary experiences, someone who enjoys high quality ingredients, who has like a very refined palate. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ingredients because
Mhm.
you mentioned, and as much as we can describe it like in words, for those listening, how would you describe like you're almost, I feel like you talking about it sounds like you're talking about wine, right? And so like because you're like
And I
you
love wine too.
you're telling me like okay, well, because immediately I think cookie dip, I
Yeah.
think, oh, this must be super sweet,
Nope.
right? And then you're like, but I have a mango chili, and I'm like, wait, what does that taste like?
Right,
Because
right.
is it then sweet, is it spicy?
It is.
How
It's
do how should people, and you mentioned flavor profile, you mentioned high quality ingredients, you mentioned
yeah.
luxury. So what do you mean by all of that? Like what,
Well, what I
tell me
mean is
what's inside.
I'm a very from scratch cook. So I make my own extracts. I mean, I'm talking from the very basis. Like the way I cook is from scratch. Like just like I said, I started my culinary journey from trying to make bread, because I didn't want the
Mm,
store-bought bread. Like I can taste the difference in the ingredients. So I source organic. I try to use local farmers, black-owned farmers when possible. Um, just I like to know what's in my food, so that's
mm,
why I like to cook from scratch, especially I have an autoimmune disorder, so I'm very sensitive to a lot of different ingredients and to the processed foods.
mm.
I grew up vegetarian and I grew up doing competitive MMA. So like in my training, we have to
Wait,
eat.
back up, what?
Yeah.
You said, okay, wait a minute. You said that, so I was like, yeah, because I grew up doing competitive MMA. First of all, ma'am, let's go back there, okay? Because we talk about cookie dip, you talk about this experience, you talk about a sense of belonging. Talk to me about that. So you grew up doing competitive MMA?
Yes, my mother, my brother and I, my older brother and I, even my father at an early age. Yeah, I started when I was about 3 years old, and I was what, a black belt by the time I was 8 years old. And
Wow.
sixth grade, I'm up here teaching classes twice a week with my older brother. So yeah,
Wow. So talk about the like the family unit piece for you.
right,
What
right.
has
So
that meant for you, and through Cookie Dip Company, how do you want to see that play out for other people?
well, I'm very close with my family, especially my parents. I have two brothers. Um, and it's very important. It's very important. Like my parents is they're the reason why I am who I am right now. They instilled everything in me. They instilled that there are no limits to what I want to do.
Mm.
They instilled in me that I'm a light. I truly believe that.
Mm.
It's embodied in my name. Zakia means intelligent. My middle name Mila, love, and then I have two middle names. My other name Isonke, satisfying gift from God. So they raised me like I'm a gift from God, and I believe that I am. So it's constant learning, self motivation, self determination. I'm very ambitious, and that's all to them. That's all to them.
And I feel like that's the love you're putting into every cup, every jar
Absolutely,
of the Cookie Dip
absolutely.
Company. I believe that when things are made with love, you feel it. I do believe
Yeah.
that. I do believe that it's energetic.
Yeah,
Um,
I am an emotional cooker. Like period.
mm.
Like the more I love you, the better the food is.
Oh my god. Well, I hate to see if you don't like a person. What
I
happens then?
won't cook for them. I won't cook for them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
I won't
okay,
cook for
okay,
them.
okay.
Like I'm
I
I'm very intentional. Like even who's allowed to come into my home. I'm very intentional about everything I do. So yeah,
so
I put in good
talk to us about
vibes.
where does that so where does that come from?
It's
What is that?
ancestral. It's definitely
Mm,
ancestral. It's been passed down through my family. Um Holidays, especially like cooking like with my mom, my aunts, my cousins, like we cook together. It's an emotional experience.
mm. What happens during those moments, you think? Not you think, but what
Yeah.
tell us if you again, as much as you could put into words
Yeah.
because
I mean,
I
we're
understand it's
telling
a feeling.
stories. We're telling stories. We're cracking on one another because some of us can't cook, you know, but they try. They'll remain nameless.
Right, right.
But they get in there and try it. It's just about being together. It's about feeling each other's energy, and like, it's like our energies intertwine, and anyone who knows me knows I'm about like positive vibes, positive interactions. I want everyone to feel as good as I feel. I want everybody to feel good all the time and have fun all the time. So I try to make that come across in experiences. Like you mentioned, the way I describe my ingredients, it kind of sounds like I'm describing wine. I love wine. Like I'm as passionate about wine, which is why I'm doing sip and dip, the wine pairing with the cookie dips. I love a good spa experience. I love, like I'm not that kind of girl like, oh, buy her a purse. No, show me an experience. That's more rewarding to me than ever. Show me.
Same.
Yeah. So it's like
When's
I
the
like
next sip and dip?
Sip and Dip is November 8th at the Doses Social Lounge in Gardena. So I'm very excited. I'm having so much fun planning it, and it's just going to be awesome.
But tell everybody what sip and dip is.
So basically, Sip and Dip, similar to like if you were to go to a wine tasting, you'll have we'll be pairing some of our signature and premium dip flavors with wine. So you'll have about 6 flavors to try from that'll pair with different wines. We'll have a charcuterie grazing table. VIP will have past hors d'oeuvres. We'll have some good old 90s R&B and jazz playing. It'll just be a good time. It's just going to be a good time.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, what would the adult you tell the little girl you based off of what you know now?
Let's see. My adult me would tell me that that's a good question, girl. Oh,
You've grown
listen to
this
myself
thing,
sooner. Listen to
you
myself sooner.
listen to yourself
Yeah,
sooner.
far sooner.
Mm.
That imposter syndrome hit different when you're young and you're doubting, you're not sure the direction you want to go in. But I've had this idea to curate experiences in general my whole life. It's just that fear
Mm.
to execute it, even like a simple game night at my house. You're gonna have an experience, like it's not
What do you think has held you up from accepting that gift that you have to host, to share in this way, to provide experience for people? What
fear.
do you For
Fear.
fear of what? Like where
Fear
does
that
that is
nobody
it?
will show up. Fear that
Oh my
people would
goodness.
come and people will come and not have a good time. But you got to turn that fear into fuel and push
What's
forward.
well, you also do it scared. I remember,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, almost every event that we've ever had, and like people gonna think I'm crazy when I say this, but almost every event. Now I've been doing events before I started doing events in 2010. Yeah, 2010,
Wow.
somewhere
Wow.
in there. So events are like second nature for me.
Yeah.
But every time, maybe up until maybe the last couple years, I'm like, what if nobody comes? Oh my god! Even when we got big, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even when Black Girl just blew up, and
Yeah.
even when like the work I was doing in poetry blew up, I was still like, oh my god! But and my team will always be like the teams I had with me, they will always be like, girl, people are gonna come. Now we're like
Yeah.
with events like Pull Up and Pitch. I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna come. Like we need to make
Yes,
sure.
because I was waiting and I couldn't even get on.
Yeah, we was like, we need to
So
make
successful.
sure everything is lined up like we need to be because people are gonna come.
Yeah.
But I think what I have learned is just doing it scared. You know how like
Yeah.
when you enter into a dark room, or like let's say you come home and it's dark in the house, for whatever reason, there's some type of thing that hits you. Now it's your house. Ain't nobody in that house. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You're good, you're safe, all that. But there's this moment when like everything's dark and you just feel like, wait, it is like you can't even, it's like this tin, it hits you, you're like, oh, what if something, what if there's a spider? You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Something.
something,
Yeah.
and you find yourself anxiously rushing to wherever the light switch is, and whether that's you rubbing up against the wall. How many times did we hit that same wall to get
Right.
that light switch turned on? And so I think that is the advice I give to people, is like run for that light switch and flip it.
Yeah.
Get to
Yeah.
that light switch and flip it. Feel and experiment down that wall as much as you need to flip that light on. Because
Yeah.
I guarantee you, you're safe. You can do this. You're right there. But it's
Exactly.
that it hits all of us in different
Yes.
ways, in different moments. And it's like, nope, let me just find my light switch. And that could be, and honestly, like your light switch could be a song. It could be crazy dancing in the middle of the living room. It could be a walk. It could be journaling. But it's like knowing that in those moments, find your light switch, whatever that is, and flip it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes there's no addressing of the fear itself.
Oh,
Like
you
the
just
fear
push
is
through
there.
it. Yeah, you just push through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no like, let me turn the fear off. It's like, no,
Right.
I feel this. This is real. And like I'm having a real moment. And it's like, okay,
Right.
but where's my
Right.
light switch though?
I find comfort in like cuz even like this, I'm not really like big on being on camera. Like that's a big thing for me, but it's easier because I'm speaking with you. Um
Well, I'm
I
glad.
I
Because
find
you're great. You have an amazing story to tell.
thank you, thank
What?
you. I
MMA
just feel
fighter
comfort.
turned
Yeah. We're
cookie
both
dip
experiencing
creator.
these right. We're both experiencing these moments right now for the first time. So it brings me comfort too. So it's like, okay, we're doing this together right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So what's your vision? So where are we going? So, because okay, and I
So
want to share this with you.
okay.
because what I'm hearing is your gift come out of hosting gathering experiences for people.
Right.
I what I have recently come to, and I don't even know, this is either for somebody listening or for you, but I'm going to share it.
Hmm.
What I realize is that my purpose is to create spaces of self-actualization and belonging. And I have been doing that all of
Hmm.
my life in the different ways and different things
Yes.
I've journeyed into. And I will do that no matter what the title of the thing is.
Yeah.
So
Same.
whether it's Black Girl Ventures, whether it's 3B Society, whether it's on Sirius XM, whether it is me creating a retreat, an event, whatever, an experience, that's what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And for those out there who are, Maria just mentioned that she lost her job last week. I'm sorry to hear that, Maria. And like, what I really want people to understand is like shifting without shame, permission to shift, right?
Yeah.
Permission to move into what is serving you now, because I do feel like God is an all encompassing word for the universe, not tied to any religion. Okay. So that's how
Right.
I call it.
Right.
That there's a calling in of people who work with light energy, positive energy,
Hmm.
to really lean into what you do best right now, because the world
100%.
needs you. The world needs these
100%.
experiences. The world need, like, so many people are in need of like guidance and belonging and space to be.
Mhm.
And sometimes we, as the people who are the practitioners of the experience of the work, the people who have it within us to serve, sometimes we get stuck in a lane, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, like Black Revenge is the way I'm supposed to do this. And like,
Right.
and it's like, actually, it's a way,
Right.
one way I am doing it. It's one way I have done it. It's one way I will continue to do it in different forms. Maybe
Mhm.
not what it looks like right now, but what I'm called to is to create spaces of self-actualization and belonging.
And
And
the
I have
BGM.
to
Yeah.
answer that call,
Exactly.
because it is what the world needed when I started BGV was BGV.
Mhm. Yeah.
And BGV is going to continue to exist, but I'm just saying that, what I feel myself being called to, I also have to answer. And so I just want to throw that out to anybody listening that may or may not be necessarily for you, particularly Zakia, but since we're talking about experiences and and I just really clearly heard this sort of gift of gathering that
Yeah.
you have underneath everything that you said. I
Yeah.
just heard the
Yeah.
gift of gathering, like the
Yeah.
love of pulling people together, the love of togetherness, the love, and not everybody has that in their life.
Yeah.
And
That's
so it's such
true.
a blessing to have and be able to move from and provide for other people.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where you're going with this. I'm excited to see where you land with it next. And yeah, anything you want to share or give to the people before we get out of here?
Sure. My goal is to scale and get into like the stadiums, the LAX, I want to be everywhere where you find luxury and specialty items uh, to enjoy and experience it. So I'm working on that, and I'm open to collaboration as well. It's so hard to get our people to collaborate, but I'm very open for that.
Well, it's
Also,
not so hard to get the right people to collaborate,
exactly. Well,
right?
getting the right people together. Yeah. So right now I'm
Yeah,
working on building my team. I got some really great collaborations coming up as well. And I just wanted to thank you specifically for the BGV space because my cohort, we still talk, we still commune,
I love that.
we still we work together. Specifically, my LA girls. Hey, girls. And
Yes,
I just look forward to, continuing this relationship. Your fellowship was like no other that I've joined. It
oh,
was
thank
like literal,
you.
like life coaching therapy type, you know, and the connections I made, I will keep. I will keep.
And I am glad to hear that. That's what we want you doing.
Hmm.
And so I'm excited to see what you do. I'm excited to see how you flow, where you go, and like anyway. And I'm grateful to be a part of your journey. You know, people thank me, and I say thank you. Like you had to say yes, and without that, you know, I wouldn't be able to continue the work I do. And so, as
Yes.
much as we can provide, I want to be providing. Thank you for joining me on the 3B
Thank you for
Society
having
podcast,
me.
Body, Business, and Belonging. I feel like we covered it all today, actually.
Yeah, we did. Oh, and I have a new premium flavor coming out later in a few days. So stay tuned for that.
All right. I like
Yes.
it. Thecookiedipcompany.com. Make sure you go check them out, follow, join the newsletter. We had somebody in the comments say they joined the newsletter today. So that's awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you soon, Zakia.
All right. Take
All
care.
right. Have a good
Much
rest of your
love.
day. I think, you know, I'm excited for people like Zakia. She's amazing. Her energy, and when she just talked about the family aspect of what she's bringing to her company, that is, you know, that is just a place where there's so much love. And I love how she talked about like love in the food. Like we gotta put like love in the food. We gotta be putting love in all the things that we can do, because right now the world is in so much need of love. I think that's one of the things from pivoting from. So everybody that was following me on a 30-day live stream, the 30-day show, it was a lot more sort of hype, and it was a lot more like, you know, talking about news and things like that. But with the 3B Society, I'm coming from a different place. I'm coming from heart, I'm coming from body, and I'm really asking the question, how do we make money and be rested and regulated and really move from a more grounded place? Because I feel like the gifts that we have are they're always there. Like the gifts that we have, they're there. But sometimes we don't notice them because we've been told, like, oh, get a job, you're on the conveyor belt of life, right? Get an education, get a job, get out here, pay some bills, right? And like we gotta do that. All that is true in different ways and for different people. But sometimes like we don't have time to like look back over, but like, what has my genius really been? And then sometimes your genius falls in places where people have told you you're crazy for like you can't. When I built it, listen, throughout my journey in the beginning, I got laid off, and I was trying a bunch of different things. One of the things is I built a teepee in my living room and I rented it out on Airbnb. And everybody thought I was crazy. Nobody's gonna sleep in your living room in a teepee. And to be honest with you, I don't even know why it worked, but I don't even know why I don't have logic behind how I knew it would work. All I had was the energy of I have to do this. Even with me building Black Girl Ventures, people told me, oh, well, you're not gonna be able to bring people into a room and get them to donate to small business owners. And I'm like, why not? But I didn't have logic behind like why it would. I didn't have logic behind why it would work. I just was like, I feel deeply that this will work. And at that time I was at rock bottom. So I was like, I have nothing else to lose. So I might as well try everything I could possibly try. And I think that, but what I discovered in that I'm revisiting now in my life, because even when I think about building out the 3B Society and what I want to do with it, and like how I want to just really heal the world, and like how can I help people have regulated nervous systems and breath work and sound baths, and how can I bring all the friends that I've met along the way to be a part of that. And it feels kind of crazy to tell people that when they're like, yeah, but like you built this whole business thing and that like what about that though? So you're not gonna be investing no more, so you're not gonna be like speaking on stages about how to build business. And it's like, I will, because business, it will be a part of body and belonging, but not because business has to be the only thing. The thing, grind, hustle, hold you till you die, team, no sleep, like bump all that. Because if I could, because when I do think back to what led me here, there was nothing that was really logical about it. It was all feeling. And if you really look underneath the stories of our biggest tech companies, it was feelings, it was emotions. Facebook was built because Mark Zuckerberg had some feeling about a girl and he got upset and he went on a journey, and now here we go. Like, a lot of these companies were built that way out of pure emotion. But people will want you to believe that they had so much logic behind it, and that's how they build. And I'm saying, I'm calling BS on that, and I'm saying no. I'm saying, actually, the strongest thing you have is already within you, and you already have the answers. The kicker is that we don't have enough rest to even know what the answer is. So we keep dancing our heads. We're in our head about it. Where should I go? What should I do? How should I figure it out? We're in our head about it. We don't have time. We don't feel like we have time to get into our bodies about it. So I'm proud and encouraging everybody to really consider, what does it look like to get grounded, get into your body, and really find the answers there, because that's where the answers are. And 9 times out of 10, it's because you've been doing that thing the entire time. Like, you were, like, the gift you have, you've actually been exercising it the entire time, your whole life. It comes natural. Sit down and journal out. Like, what are the things that people always compliment me on? I never think, oh, you're such a great organizer. Oh, you're such a great leader. Oh, we're going to wait for her because she's going to be the leader. Oh, like, oh, we know we're going to wait because she's going to tell us what to do. Like, you already are displaying those things. Are things are already within you, but we don't feel like, nobody tells us that you actually have the space, the time to slow down and figure it out. And that's what I discovered when I went on sabbatical. And that's why I'm like, I got to share this message. Like, I got to tell people, like, one, permission to shift, shifting without shame. The breakdowns that we're seeing, a lot of it in some of the Black-owned business things, I would dare say, I've not had conversations with the founder of Amico. I've not had conversations with Fawn Weaver recently. I haven't had any conversations with Pinky Cole. But I would dare say, I haven't had any conversations with the woman Hanifa from Hanifa. But I would dare say, along their journeys, there's likely been a moment that they felt, is this going to be too much? Should I slow down? Should I pivot? But then something else said, nah, go, go, go. You got to grind, 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 scale, scale, scale. Right? Like, there was likely some voice that said, hey, I think you need to maybe, but there was some other voice that said, oh, nah, let's make it to 1 billion. Let's make it to 500 locations. Let's go, go, go. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have those ambitions, right? Because I think it's wonderful. My question is not about, like, you having to choose in that way. I am saying body, business, and where do you feel like you belong on your journey? And how do we visit that more deeply? And what does that look like, right? And have you even taken time to slow down to figure it out? So the Instagram, right now I'm live on my Instagram, but moving forward, starting tomorrow, I'll be going live on at the 3B Society. And there already is a woman with 3B Society. So make sure y'all put the in front of it, at the 3B Society. There's also a YouTube as well, but that we're starting up. So at the 3B Society on YouTube is 3B Society. But if you go to omibell.com, join the email list. Also, 3B Society is there for you to click on, take a look at, like, what I'm thinking, what my vision is for it. Also, the Breathing Bell. If you need some nervous system regulation, go to thebreathingbell.com. It's a web app, so you don't need to download anything. And you could just go in and do a couple breathing exercises right on the spot. Easy flow. Not a lot of friction to get in there and start breathing. And stay tuned, because the way I'm feeling right now about where I see my vision, and even this first interview I just had with Zakia, I feel super emotional, and I don't know why. But I would say that, like, this is just dropping into your heart center about what's next for you. And that's where I am. And like, I'm not trying to blow smoke. You know what I mean? I'm the last person that want to give you the woo-woo, all the BS, but I really do. I really have experience. Let me say that. And I really have experienced what I'm saying, and I want to speak from that. And when I think back into what I was doing and building, because that's what I've had to visit lately. Like, when I was building BGV, what was I thinking? When I was building that TP in the living room, what was I thinking? When I was trying all these things, a t-shirt company, what was I thinking? Honestly, I wasn't thinking. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I was not thinking. I was feeling. And I was feeling like nobody would ever lay me off again. And I was feeling like I will use every skill that I possibly have to make whatever I feel like I can envision come true. And I was feeling like, I don't know what y'all thinking about. Y'all might not understand what I'm about to do, but I know what I'm about to do. And I was feeling like you can't see, you don't have my eyes, you can't see my vision. All you can see is what I have done. You cannot see what I'm about to do, but I can. So when people discounted me, even the people that I put on pedestals, because they were running organizations like mine, I was like, oh my God, like, I think this is so wonderful what you're doing. Like, some of them dismissed me. They didn't see me coming. They thought, oh yeah, here's another person saying they're going to build something. But again, people can see what you have done. People can't see what you're about to do. Only you can see that. So this message that I want to give is like, keep going. Shift without shame. Give yourself permission to shift. Get into your body and find the answers, because that's what the answers are. And like, figure out what your own formula is, because nobody needs to understand that formula but you. And guarantee you'll be on the path that you need to be on. Sometimes though, it takes a minute to get there because you have pressing things like you need to make money right away. That makes sense. You got to figure out other things. So I also don't want to blow smoke. Like when I was at rock bottom and I was like, I need to figure out something. Okay. It was unemployment. I was a substitute teacher. I did technical writing for like a government contractor, writing up their things for them. I wrote papers for people in college. Like I was trying to do all I could do to keep money coming into my house while knowing that there was other things for me to do. So your whole life becomes a yes and. And I think that like not an either or. And so that's what I'm saying. Like 3B Society is all about body, business, and belonging. Yes, body, and yes, business, and yes, belonging, community. What does that look like for me? And so, having said that, that's what these interviews will be about. Stay tuned. Go to the @the3B Society page on Instagram and follow. We're going to be putting out when those interview dates are. For this run, I was going to do 30 days straight, but I decided to only do when I have an interview. Okay, because I'll put out a post about how the 30-day run works from a capacity standpoint. But I do have another 30-day series coming up. It'll be on the BGV side. It'll start around May 18th. So stay tuned for that one as well. But I, just want to empower and encourage everybody as I end this episode you have permission to shift. And it's okay to shift without shame. That's all I got for y'all. Have a great rest of your day. This is the 3B Society, Body, Business, and Belonging. I am Omi Bell. I'll see y'all next time.